Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of K8MRD Radio Stuff. My name is Mike and thanks for tuning in. Today I want to show you something really cool. I have always, my entire life, been a flashlight nerd, and just over the past week or so on Amazon Prime Day, I picked up a new flashlight. It's the Olight Warrior 2 Mini. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. I first heard of these lights. I was watching Dixie DX's channel, and she had the first version of this, and I was like, OMG, I need one of those. So this is the upgraded model. This is the Warrior Mini 2. And guys, I just got to say, this thing, like if you've ever wanted a lightsaber in your life, this is it. This thing is so cool. All aluminum body, nice like knurled grip here. You've got a couple different clips on here. Comes with a carabiner, not for climbing. So if you want to like hook it in this little ring here, hang it on your backpack or something, or maybe do kind of like a cool tactical kind of thing with it, you know, whatever, and use it that way, or maybe punch someone. Like this thing is solid. I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. I'm just so geeked to have this flashlight. Anyway, what comes in the box, obviously you get the Olight. Comes with a nice like rubber lanyard. Comes with a nice decent user's manual with all the settings for the instructions on. This light has 5 different modes, so it's really awesome. And one of the coolest things about this is your magnetic charging. That is so cool. And then it just charges with a regular USB. If we open the box here, slide to open. When you open it up, first there's a little greeting. Thank you for being a part of the Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Enjoy. It says there's a little bit of insulating film on the battery that you need to remove before you turn it on. And they say to fully charge it before you do. And there's also a proximity sensor in here that we're going to show you here in a little bit. And real quick, this is the instruction manual. Comes in a bunch of different languages, both sides. And the actual operating instructions are just this part right here. It's very, very simple. So let's take a look at these specifications. It is amazing how much they can pull out of this battery depending on what mode you're on. So on turbo mode, which they should call ludicrous mode, it's 1750 lumens. And it'll do that for 4 minutes straight, and then it'll drop down to 29% power for 206 minutes, and then 11% power for 40 minutes. On high, which is 500 lumens, you get 218 minutes out of it, then it drops down to 40% for 55 minutes. On medium, which is 120 lumens, you get 19 hours of runtime. On low, which is 15 lumens, you get 164 hours. And on moon, which is 1 lumen, which is really awesome for just walking around your house in the dark, you get 45 days out of this battery, which is insane. Then if we take a look here on turbo mode, this thing will throw its beam 220 meters. So if you really need to see something far out, that'll do it. High is 117 meters, medium is 57 meters, and low is 19 meters. We're going to demonstrate this in a bit. Now taking a look at the battery, the top kind of unscrews from the body here, and we can see that we have a 3500 milliamp hour 18650 cell, 3.6 volt. This is a proprietary cell. You can't apparently just use any old 18650 in here. I'm not sure why, but it probably has something to do with the magnetic charging. I really have no idea. Taking a look at the threads, they've got a little bit of lubrication on there, which is nice, and there's also an O-ring in here to keep it watertight. This is waterproof. I forget what rating it is, but yeah, you pretty much can do anything you want with this and you're not going to hurt it. Speaking of batteries, another great feature that they have built into this is the power button on top. And if you see that tiny little dot in the middle, if we turn the light on, you'll notice that turns green. And that'll stay green if you're greater than 60%. When you're between 10 to 60%, that will turn orange, and when you're 5 to 10%, it'll turn red. And if it's less than 5%, it'll start blinking red. That's really important to me, to know how much actual capacity I have left in my battery, and this will let you know. Now guys, charging this flashlight could not be any easier. Usually with flashlights, you got to take the battery out, put it in a cradle, all that kind of stuff. Not with this. The bottom of this flashlight, you can see, has this little center pin. That's your positive connection, and then this outer rim is the negative. You simply take your magnetic charger, and it's charging. You can see that this is green, which means it's over 95% charged. But the maximum charging current out of this is 1.5 amps. It takes about 3.5 hours to go from dead to fully charged. I just love that this is magnetic and you can charge it like that. Super awesome. Now, one thing to note about this design, basically your electrical connection is wide open. So if you were to short something from the outer ring to that center pin, everything around the center pin is not active, but that center pin is hot. So if you were to short something across here, you would most likely damage this. So be careful of that. And especially since this is magnetized, you might want to just take caution on that. So taking a walk around the flashlight, we can see you've got your clip here. Now these are removable. It actually comes with the clip, so it would be oriented if you put it in your pocket where the light is up. I prefer to carry mine light down, so you can remove this and put it on the bottom so the light's down. That's just how I prefer to carry it. I was kind of worried how tough this would be when I first got it. I'm like, I don't know, that just snaps on, but it actually seems to be very sturdy. Unfortunately, this top ring, for some reason, they designed it a little different, probably because the on switch is right here, one of the on switches. But this doesn't actually fit all the way in, which is kind of weird. You can see that gap there. So, I mean, they could have made that smaller. I don't really use this clip anyway, so I don't really care. This is how I configure it. On the top here, we have our on-off button. This does multi-functions though. You can see we can turn it on, but if we hold this in, you can see I'm just holding it in and it's cycling low, medium, and high. If we turn the flashlight off, if we hold in the button for 2 seconds, it goes into what they call moon mode. And it's just, I mean, it's 1 lumen. It doesn't seem like much, but when it's pitch black, this is actually a really good amount of light to have. And now that I'm in moon mode, it stores that memory, or mode rather, so the next time I turn it on, it goes into that. Well, if I want to get out of that, I simply long press it again, and we go back to our low, medium, and high. So if I leave it on medium, that's medium, and turn it off, it's going to return back to medium. If I put it on high, turn it off, it'll turn back to high, but after a half an hour of not using it, it'll go back to the medium setting. The other thing that this has is what they call turbo mode, and if we double press this, this just gets insanely bright. I can literally feel the warmth of this light on my hand, and this starts to heat up. It gets hot pretty quick. So this only lasts for 4 minutes. Now, one thing that they have on this, if you'll see this little kind of black part in the lens there, and that hole, that's actually a proximity sensor. This is a safety feature in here. So if your flashlight accidentally turns on while it's in your pocket or something, and it's on insane mode, because this thing legit gets hot. Watch what happens as it gets closer. See how it just dimmed? That proximity sensor, so if this is in your pocket, that proximity sensor is going to say, hey, wait, this thing is too close to something. We don't want to start a fire or damage something or hurt someone or burn someone, whatever. So it automatically reduces power, which is a great feature because, guys, I'm not kidding. I can feel the warmth of this light on my hand, and it's probably about 10 or 12 inches from me. This gets very hot. You don't want to sit here and hold this for 4 minutes because it'll hurt. You definitely want to hold it back here somewhere. So warning to anyone who is affected by flashing lights, turn away now. The other feature that this light has is a ridiculously strong strobe. So if we triple press this button, we get this really fast, intense, bright strobe. So you'll just completely disorient a potential foe. All right, you can turn back now. The strobe is over. But that's not all they have built into this Olight Warrior Mini 2. This back here where it charges, this is also a button. So if you want to hold it more kind of tactical, you can kind of half press it as a momentary switch, or you can just quick press it and it'll stay on. Now if you go all the way, if you just push it all the way, now it's in turbo mode, just like that. A full click in, it's in turbo mode. Now if we full click in and just hold it, again we have our momentary switch. We can also change the configuration of what this button does to where you half press it, it does turbo mode, and when you hard press it, it does strobe. So strobe guys, look away again. And to change that, we simply hard press this, push the top button, now it's strobing. So half press, turbo mode, and full press, strobe mode. And to set it back, just hard press the tail again, push the top button, and we're back to half press is medium power, and full press is turbo mode. All right, you can look back, strobe people. So just an incredible amount of thought and design that went into a flashlight. I love this thing. Another safety feature this has. So if you are going to carry this in your pocket and you don't want it to go into turbo mode and burn your leg before it turns off, which it shouldn't because it has that proximity sensor, you can actually lock this so the buttons will not turn it on. And you do that by holding the top button for 2 seconds, and we'll see that the moonlight mode will come on. Keep holding it, it turns off. Now, it's not turning on. It is locked out, okay? So you can't turn it on, and to unlock it, you simply hold the button again for 2 seconds, goes back into moonlight mode, and we can just long press it to cycle between whatever brightnesses we want. It's crazy how many features they jam-packed into this thing. Also, we can notice a little bit of kind of tactical knurling on the top, so if you need to kind of bash someone's head in or maybe break a window or something, you've got that on there as well. And another nice feature about it is if for some reason you do leave the light on, you can actually see that it is on because light will exit the top of it through those little kind of scalloped edges there. Just again, a lot of great design in here. One thing, I do wish this was all black. I kind of don't like the blue color. I'm not a big fan of the color blue. Everything should just be black for me. But not a deal breaker by any means. I really, really like this flashlight. All right, so let's see what the brightness of this flashlight actually looks like. I'm gonna turn it on. This is the low setting. So we can kind of see things around us, but not too bright. Now if I long press it, we'll go up to medium. Now we're starting to see the light here. And if we go up to high, boy, now we can see everything. But that's not all. Turbo mode. It just lights up the whole place. Definitely gets hot though. Definitely getting warm. Now here's a longer view of the throw of the light. Here, the light's on. There's actually stuff in the background there. Can't really see much though. Get it to medium power and start seeing the outline of a building there. Kind of see maybe there's a tree. Put it in high power. Now we get that tree in view. This is about 100 feet away from me. And then if we go to turbo mode, well, the whole night sky just lit up. And here's moonlight mode. Very, very dim. You can see there's my windowsill. It does give a bit more of a glow outside of the hot spot, but it's enough to navigate around your kitchen, find where the liquor is. So, just perfect. You can even see your cat's eyes. So that's a quick look at the Olight Warrior Mini 2. Like I said, I picked this up on Amazon on Prime Day. For 80 bucks. I think they retail when they're not on sale for about $90. I will leave a link in the description for this. If you're a flashlight nerd like me, I think you definitely need to have one of these in your collection. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again on another episode of K8MRD Radio Stuff. 73, everyone.